And the social side especially is important for seniors to you don't want to be lonely. And if there's a chance to get out and get a little exercise and then talk to someone, it's very important. As I said, I feel the social side is just as important as the exercise.
Hello, I am Celia Sanker, Executive Director of the DiversityCanada Foundation, the organization that brings you GoldenVoices.com. That's the online portal where seniors gather to focus on issues of importance to seniors. And at GoldenVoices.com, you'll find the GoldenYears Fireside Chat series. Today on the GoldenYears Fireside Chat series, we will be focusing on fitness for seniors. Is it ever too late to start a fitness regime? And what are you capable of and your peers capable of when you hit your 60s, 70s, 80s and beyond? You know, fitness doesn't have to be something that we dread and seem like drudgery. It can in fact open the door to a world of fun and vibrant social life. So today we will be speaking about fitness and staying healthy with John Young, who is the founder of the Forever Young Club in Richmond, BC, and he is also the race director of the Forever Young run. We will get more into that because they have an activity coming up shortly. So welcome, John, and thank you so much for being with us on the GoldenYears Fireside Chat series.
Oh, thank you, Celia. I'm looking forward to it.
Wonderful. So you are very much into fitness. You are the race director of the Forever Young run. But tell us a bit more about your background, though. Have you always been into health and fitness?
Yes, I guess I have. All through my high school years, 100 years ago, I was involved in a lot of different sports, basketball, soccer. Then university, I went to UBC and got a degree in physical education. This is back in 1969. So they called it a phys ed degree back then. I think today it's a kinesiology or something. But at UBC, I was a member of the varsity gymnastic team for 4 years. But I think I was the worst member of the team. But it was a good fitness regimen. After that, I went into phys ed in elementary school and high school and coached many different sports. Then, of course, when my children came along, I became a coach and manager and hockey dad for, I guess, the next 20 years as my children grew up. So, yes, I've always been involved in sports.
So it's quite natural that in your golden years, fitness plays a big role.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay, so we'll be speaking about both the Forever Young Club and later on the Forever Young Run. So tell us about the Forever Young Club. How did it get started and what's it all about?
Again, I've always been involved in fitness and with seniors especially. When I guess near my retirement years, I retired when I was 58, 2003, and I was looking for something to do, volunteer, and the Terry Fox Foundation needed an organizer. So I joined that and began running 8Ks and 10Ks with Terry Fox, as well as being the coordinator for it in Richmond. So I did that for 10 years. And let's see, what was your question again?
Yes, so we're talking about the Forever Young Club and how it got started.
The club, yeah. At the time, there was also a fitness, a half marathon club in Richmond called the Spirit Runners, run by Lynn Walters, and I joined that as a leader of different groups. I did that for about 5 or 6 years, and then when I retired, we discovered that we were available all day long. So rather than keep going to the spirit runners in the evening session with all the younger people, that I discovered there was a lot of other people retired and that we could run during the day. So we started running on a Monday, Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning, which was nice and convenient. And that we started with about 3 people. There was my wife, myself, and another elderly lady who's now 87 years old.
Still running?
Oh, yeah, still running. Yeah,
Okay.
she's actually got a number of world records for her age group. I maybe tell you more about her later. But.
Okay.
So we started running with just the 3 of us, and other retired folks discovered that we were doing a regular run, and they said, "Can we join you?" And it got bigger and bigger, and we went to 5, and then 10, and 15, and 20, and so that was about 2007, I think, that we started the Forever Young Club, and we made a logo. My daughter's a graphic designer, so she made a nice logo for us. And it just got bigger and bigger, and now I guess we have about 130 people, I suppose, in the club. Now 130 don't turn out every Monday, Wednesday, but we do get about 35 to 45 every Monday and every Wednesday morning, which is a pretty good crowd. Our main criteria is that we have free parking and a coffee shop nearby. So we run for an hour. The walkers maybe 5K, 6K, and the runners 8K to 10K, something like that.
It's a running club and walking club that grew organically because people had a desire for it.
You know, I guess we took some people from the spirit runners who are also aging. You know, it's a funny thing about as the years keep going, you get older and older. So we started in our late 50s, and then we went through into our 60s and kept going. And now I'm 76, and I'm still going strong. So, and we have in the club itself, we actually have a number of people who are in their 80s, but I would say most of us are 60s and 70s in the Forever Young Club.
What's the oldest?
Oldest would be Gwen McFarlane, and she's 87. We did have we had a 92-year-old, but he's now in an old folks' home. So he's got an electric cart that he tools around in now. So we had another lady who was 90, but she had some pretty basic injuries that she just couldn't keep it up, even walking. So Gwen is, I guess, our oldest active member.
So you're a believer in the idea that it's never too late to get started in health and fitness?
No, definitely not. I believe in if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Most, at any age, if you're able, if your doctor says go right ahead, then you should. I guess one of the things that happened to me in about 9 years ago, I had a cardiac arrest, and I was out for 25 seconds. But fortunately, I was in hospital emergency at the time, so they brought me back in and discovered that I had 3 plugged arteries, about 70% blocked, and so I had a triple bypass and a pacemaker installed, and after I started to walk a little bit when the surgery was healing, and I guess 7 months later I did a half marathon.
Wow.
After my triple. So wow. That's an example of the fact that even with heart disease or heart surgery, you should get out there and stay fit. As a matter of fact, my cardiologist tells me it's the best thing you can do for your heart is to keep fit, keep exercising.
And from your own experience and from those of the other members of the Forever Young Club, what have you heard and felt in terms of the contrast between being at home and trying to say, okay, I'm going to just relax and because I'm maybe too old for this, and the contrast with when you actually do get out and stay fit?
Well, as I tell my group, there's three factors that motivate you. And the first factor is to get a group or a partner. If you can have a friend, someone about the same fitness level that you are, or find a group like the Forever Young Club where we have multiple different abilities from slow walkers to fast runners. If you can find a group like that, that's number one, to find somebody to be a partner with you. The good thing about that is when you're at home watching TV and it's raining outside, you don't want to get up and go outside. You've got your partner, you've got your group who will be phoning you up and saying, come on, let's go. Or you make an arrangement. You make a time. You're going to meet you at the corner at 9 o'clock, and so you're committed. So having a partner, having a group is, I think, number one. Number two is to have a goal. And the goal could be as simple as like you're doing an 8K or you're doing a 5K. This might be 3 or 4 months down the road. Or it could be even simpler. Your goal might be, I'm going to go around the park twice, something like that. And so that gives you something to shoot for. And the third factor is to have a plan. And the plan could be as simple as, well, I'm going to go around the park once this week, 3 times. And then next week, I'm going to go around the park twice, 3 times. Or you could set yourself a plan of, I'll do 1K or 2K, or I'm going to walk for 30 seconds and run for 30 seconds, something like that. But some kind of plan. There's plenty of them out there. All you have to do is go on the internet and type in, I want a 5K plan, to develop my ability to make a 5K, and there's plenty of them that you can see. So 1, find a group, find a partner. 2, make a goal for yourself, and 3, make a plan.
That's really sound advice. What have you found in terms of your participants or the members' preference between walking and running? Running, in my own case, my knees have never been happy with running.
Yeah, well, I get that a lot. We have a mix. A lot of the folks in their 70s were runners, and as they just decided that walking is very good for, and walking is. Research after research shows that walking is a tremendous benefit for you, especially as you age, and it's much easier on as you say, on the knees and all the rest of the body as well. If you can run, then by all means run. But the preference in our club, I would say about 2/3 of the group are walkers and about 1/3 are runners.
So staying fit doesn't have to look like, that high energy, intensive running that you would see the younger people doing.
Oh, no,
just
no.
walking.
We're strictly recreational runners. Well, we do have a few people who are competitive and do well in age group classifications, like our old friend Gwen McFarlane. At age 72, Gwen McFarlane did a Hawaiian marathon in 3:58, which is a
full marathon.
A full marathon.
Wow.
Yeah, in 3:58. Plus, she holds a number of Canadian records and world records in half marathon. So I never came close to that kind of thing. But
so she's the exception.
Yeah, yeah, she is. She is very much the exception. And whenever we talk about age and fitness, people always bring up Gwen's name, and we say, yeah, but you can't compare yourself to Gwen.
Yes. For most of us, it will be at a pace that's gentler than that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And my 80-year-old brother and I just started. He's a golfer, which I call the dark side, by the way. Uh, but he started walking with me, and I run a little bit, so he decided to run a little bit with me. And we run a couple of minutes, and then we walk for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. So he's 80, and he just started to walk and run.
You had mentioned that in the past you were with a group that was younger and they would run in the afternoons, I guess because of work. That
You're
was the
right. They
time
would run
that
at
they would
6 o'clock
run.
at night. Yeah.
Yes. But the retirees prefer to run in the mornings. Have you found, in terms of the passage of the sun and the heat of the day, how have you found that that makes a difference in the performance and also the enjoyment that the participants have?
When we were working, you either went walking, running early in the morning before work, or you did it after work. And a lot of the clubs, the running clubs, would run at, say, 6 o'clock at night. And of course, in Canadian winters, it gets dark about 4:30, 5 o'clock. So you're running in the dark, and Vancouver, you're running in the rain and the dark. So it's not too pleasant. But if you can run in the daytime, like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, you've got daylight hours. Even if it's raining out, at least you can see. You're not in danger of crossing streets and cars and that kind of thing. The other good thing about it is you're not interrupting your dinner time. When you're running after work, like I say, 6 o'clock or so, you're putting dinner off till you can get back home, have a shower. It might be 8 o'clock before you can sit down to supper. So it's just a lot more convenient to run in the daytime. And then the other important thing is we go for coffee.
From what you're saying, seniors have a great advantage in that they have the choice of a perfect time, something that really suits them.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the coffee because I think there's a saying you have in your group that the group is about fitness and fun comes first.
That's right. That's right. Staying as a group is really important. Many friends have become very close friends that they've met in our run group and gone on holidays, gone on cruises together, and never knew each other before joining the Forever Young Club. And of course, we exercise for an hour and a half or so, and we have coffee for an hour and a half or so. And I think I even sent you some pictures of our group together with 35, 40 of us around a big table, and the conversation never stops. And it's usually a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, and good times. And the social side especially is important for seniors. You don't want to be lonely. And if there's a chance to get out and get a little exercise and then talk to someone, it's very important. As I said, I feel the social side is just as important as the exercise.
From how you described the origins of the Forever Young Club, would you say it's something that anyone can develop and form or found anywhere? How hard is it, or how difficult is it to maintain?
I guess you just have to have in any large group, it always seems to be down to one person who has the energy and the ambition and the ability to put something together, and I guess that would be my wife. But no, the two of us have certainly put it together. Joan is my right hand and my left hand. She manages the group, and I work out the routes we take, and I lead the group and that kind of thing. But So sometimes it takes two of you, but if there's one person who can simply, if they've got two or three people, say, let's go out every Monday, every Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll meet you at the corner, and it starts from there. I actually had posters. We started another Forever Young Club in Vancouver, and we put posters up in the local community centers in Granville Island. And we have a lady there who coordinates it, and she got 4 or 5 or 10 people in pretty short order, and they walk along Kitts Beach and back again. It's all basically walking, but so we started a group there, and I'm always hoping that some of our members who have moved away from Richmond will start a club where they've gone to, like Calgary is another area that I've got 4 or 5 people, and then Surrey is another place that, as seniors downsize in Richmond, they move down to Delta or Surrey. So I'm hoping they'll start up a club down there. So I think it's a matter of just getting your friends together who have the same interests, and friends getting friends, and then the word gets out. I certainly don't advertise too much. I put a poster in the community center, but that was as far as I went. There's no fee, by the way. It's all free.
That's lovely. So it's a matter of getting together to enjoy the benefits of staying healthy and active and socially active. There's no fee. It's seniors getting together for fitness and fun. So that's great. And, as you mentioned, there's a branch in Vancouver. I think it's a wonderful thing to spread all over Canada, because you have the perfect name, John. It's your real name, Young, but in the title, Forever Young.
We were casting around trying to figure out what to call our club. At the beginning, it was the Monday, Wednesday morning run club. We said, we can do better than that. So someone came up with the idea of Forever Young, and we thought it fit pretty well, so we use it.
Okay, so a couple of points about the club. You mentioned in the notes that you sent to new members that consistency is key to fitness. So how do you see that playing out? Do you find that for new members, that's the tough part, to remain consistent? You may be excited the first week, but how do you find that it plays out?
Well, you're absolutely right. Some people, we don't have any restrictions on who joins, of course. The way I put it is, if you feel our club meets your needs, then please join us, as opposed to, them joining us for their reasons, but or for our reasons. But some people come out and they stick with us for a while, and then they disappear, and then they come back. So you're right. Some people don't stay with us for that long. But when I have a newsletter, and when I don't have someone for a long time, they haven't turned out, then eventually I stop sending the newsletter. And if they are interested in staying with us, then they'll email me and say, put me back on the newsletter. Because the newsletter is where they find out where we meet.
Yes, that's a good way to keep the group together. That you're linked in, you're part of the group. Yes, and as you say, it's a free social group, so it's a matter of showing up because your heart is really in it.
Right, and again, we have 35, 45 people every Monday, every Wednesday, so a lot of them have good friends within the larger group, and they'll walk together or run together, and then when they go to coffee, they'll stay together with coffee. So something else that is Richmond, has perhaps the highest percentage of Asian people living. About 65% of Richmond are Asian. So we actually have quite a number of Asian folks in our club. Some of them don't speak English, and so we have translators available, and we even have a group that they stay at one particular table and they can speak Mandarin, and but that I think is really good. I'm really happy that we're getting a good ethnic mix in the club.
很好.
Yeah.
Yes. So Yes. So this is pretty inspiring, and this is wonderful to hear because it sounds like something that is can be replicated even here in Elliott Lake, where Diversity Canada and the Golden Voices and Golden Years a Fireside Chat series is located. We're a retirement community, so I'm excited to share that with Elliott Lake. Now, you have gone a step further from a club that meets every Monday and Wednesday for fun and fitness. You've taken things to the next level, where you have the race, the same name, Forever Young. It's an 8K, 8K race. Tell us a bit more about that.
At about 7 years ago, this is our 7th year of running the Forever Young 8K, and it was something that I had kind of a dream. I'd been in so many different 8Ks, 10Ks, half marathons over the past 25, 30 years. And I said, there's really nothing out there designed for seniors. And so some people called me crazy that I could never do it because if I started an event for 55 and over, that I'd be cutting out half the population of people who run. And of course, the keen runners are the people, 20, 30, and 40, I would imagine. They're the people who enter a lot of these 8Ks and 10Ks and half marathons. But I said, no, we're going to do it for 55 and over, and it'll be strictly an 8K. We're not going to try to do any terrible long distances. The first year, we actually sold out. We had to have a certain number that we went up to, and that was 250 at the beginning, just because of organization. We didn't want to go much higher than 250, but we got our 250 people. It was a fabulous event. We had medals and shirts, and we had rock and roll music from the 60s and 70s over the speakers. We had food. We had a lot of our sponsors designate or focused on seniors, so travel agents and dentistry type people. I can't think right now, but a lot of sponsors who were focused on seniors, and of course they set up the canopy on site, and so they were marketing their wares at the same time. So it was a big success. In the second year, we had over 300 in our Forever Young 8K, and third year, I think about the same number. So, but with COVID this year, we were having a struggle for our Forever Young 8K.
Yes, everything has been
Yeah.
slammed by
Well,
COVID.
exactly. In 2020, we actually had a virtual Forever Young 8K. So we said, doesn't matter where you do your 8K. We didn't give out medals or T-shirts, but we did publish their names and results and in our website. And then this year we're back to it.
Okay, and it's an official run. It's a sanctioned run.
Yeah, we haven't sanctioned it every year, but we did certify the distance of 8K, and we had a lady. I think she was 85 to 89 age category, and she broke a world record for 8K. So we're really happy
Fabulous.
about that.
Yes, so that just goes to show where if someone is inspired by hearing you and starts a group and reaches the level where they open or establish a race, an 8K, 5K, or whatever, and it's officially recognized, and there's someone in the group who wants to go for a record, anything is possible.
It is, yeah. And it's an incentive too. It's motivation, and it's one of those goal things that I talked about earlier, where a lot of seniors, walkers, may be happy with doing 5K, 6K in their regular walks, and then we gave them the challenge of trying to make 8K, and so they would extend their weekly walks, and eventually, when they came out for the Forever Young 8K, they were able to do it. And of course, getting a medal is fabulous. A lot of people, regular runners, they get box loads of medals and they don't really want them. But as seniors, 70s and even 60s and 70s, never been in races like this where everyone gets a medal. So this is a real thrill to them. And to get a T-shirt and a medal that they can show off to the grandkids is wonderful. So maybe a first time.
And after accomplishing that at 70s and 80s, you deserve a medal. Yes. So is there what's the time, and how can anyone who is interested in following what happens with the Forever Young race 8K in 2021 in the midst of the pandemic, where can we find out more about it?
Yeah, there's a website for the event. It's very simple. It's just www.foreveryoung8k.ca. So, and actually, if you've left off the www, it would work too. Just foreveryoung8k.ca would work. And then you'll see lots and lots of pictures of the events. We have a lot of photos that we publish. We try to do is take a picture of everybody who comes through the finish line, and then we publish them. And rather than sell them, we make them a good enough resolution that you can download them, so you have a picture of yourself going through the finish line.
Fabulous. It's important to mark important events in our lives, and that certainly does that.
One more thing about the Forever Young 8K. 3 years ago, I think it was. I think we all know Evan Dunphy is the race walker in the Canadian Olympic team. He got a bronze medal in Tokyo. He's a Richmond resident, and we asked him to give a short talk before the event started. And I asked him if he could to say how his parents, because his parents were more our age, how his parents have inspired him and motivated him to become an Olympic race walker. So he gave a great talk, and he even stuck around afterwards, and he was allowing us all to take pictures of him and signing autographs. It was really good.
That's wonderful. A nice inspiration there. Inspiration all around. Okay, wonderful. So thank you very much for all that you've shared with us, John. I think this is wonderful that you're able to bring so many people together to ensure that they keep health and fitness at the forefront. And it sounds like such a wonderful gathering. Every Monday and Wednesday, you get the heart pumping, you've got, the energy up, and then you relax with a good bunch of people for an hour, walk for an hour, you say, socialize with coffee for another hour. That sounds like a good deal for me.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be able to do as a retired school teacher, that I'm able to do that and meet with all our friends, and it's a great part of your retirement.
So as we close, those were the areas that I had to cover. Is there anything that we haven't looked at that you'd like to share with other seniors who may be tired, especially over these last 18 months of being at home, locked away, and would like to be a bit fitter than they currently are?
Well, of course, during COVID, in March of 2020, we had to shut down all our group activities, but certainly our members broke up into smaller groups of 2s and 3s and did their own thing. There's many trails and dikes around Richmond, so they were able to keep their exercise in. And we started just a month or two ago when things started loosening up a bit in Richmond. So now we're back together again with our larger group. But as I mentioned before, find a friend, find a club that is there, especially people your age that maybe don't run so fast or walk so fast, and make it a routine. The important thing is to say, okay, I'll meet you Monday, I'll meet you Wednesday, and actually we even meet on Saturday. We have a split walk group, run group, so we actually meet 3 times a week, but it's a much smaller group. That it's so important to even people who have had major surgery to get out there and exercise. It's the best thing you can do for your heart after heart surgery is to exercise. So one of the things that we do is my wife and I, we run for 3 minutes and we walk for 1 minute. So our heart gets pumping, and then for 1 minute we let it relax, and then our heart pumps for 3 minutes and relax. And again, my cardiologist says that's one of the best exercises you can do for your heart.
Okay, so that interval.
Yeah, that interval. That's right.
That's a tip right there that we can take with us. Wonderful. So thank you once again, John, for all that you've shared. Thank you for your time this morning. You're in BC. It's morning for you, but afternoon for us. So thank you for joining us.
Right. Okay, thank you, Celia.
So there you have it. Fitness can be so much fun and can keep us forever young. I'm so glad that you joined us today on this episode of the Golden Years Fireside Chat series. Remember, you can catch this episode and many others in the series at GoldenVoices.com, the online portal where seniors gather to focus on issues of importance to seniors. I am Celia Sanker. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition, and see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.